Live. We're live. Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday. You made it. Welcome to April 22nd. It's Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm going to share with you a bit about Think and Grow Rich, the legacy of Napoleon Hill, and just share with you what I know, why this book is so important, and how I enjoy reading it. So, welcome to Friday. Thanks for being here. For those who are following me, thank you so much. My name is Kamal. I teach the book Think and Grow Rich and Thinking into Results. And it's been a pleasure to study it for the past several months. And I tell you, it never ends. Just like the second Bible that you could have, or whatever is your religion, it's like one of those things where you can use every day. We studied it this morning in one of the clubs, and it's just phenomenal. So if you've never read it, if you don't have it, let me know. We can get you a copy of it. But my name is Kamal. So I teach this book, Think and Grow Rich, and my mentor got me hooked on it. Rest in peace, Bob Proctor, and he studied it for 61 years. So I use a lot of his material as I study it and share with it. But why this book, and why is it the number one sold book since it was written back in the 30s? It's because it has so much power in it and so much information. And if you haven't read it, and if you haven't read it in a group, you're probably missing out a little bit. And I'm just going to share with you briefly today as to some of the content and how you can start getting involved in studying it with us. Right? You can do it on your own. Obviously, if you haven't done it, it's probably time to do it. But you can do it with us in a group, and it will be an opportunity for you to join and have fun with this club. We meet on Saturdays, so it's. It's a nice book. I use this one, Think and Grow Rich, the complete text. There's different versions of them, but I use this hardcover one because it's nice to hold around, nice to move around, put in your bag, travel case, whatever it is. And I get to mark it up, put notes in it, little tabs. And it's just better than a PDF and better than anything that I've used. So I like this version. Now, why do I like it? And what's in this book that's so special? Well, what's so special in it is that it's got some of the fundamentals on the laws, some of the fundamentals on the laws of the universe. Hello, Dennis. Thanks for joining from LinkedIn. Good to see you here, buddy. So it's really a summary of how the laws really work and how you can get the fundamentals of the laws working for you. So once you study it and once you understand it, you can then apply those principles into your life. Most people would just read it once and throw it to the side and yeah, I've read it. And then you ask them, well, what is desire, or what is faith, or what is autosuggestion, or what is the mystery of sex transmutation, or what's the power of the mastermind? They're like, what are you talking about? We're like, yeah, I read it, but I just don't remember. And that's the problem with this issue, is that people read things and they just get rid of it, and you don't really get out of it. And I'm going to give you a couple examples today as we go through it, as to what it means to read with a group, what it means to read and study the book, not just kind of quickly read it, but just briefly about it, right, and how it came about. So the story, basically, Andrew Carnegie, who back in the 1900s was the richest man in the world. And so he was scheduled for an interview with Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was the journalist, and he got interviewed by Napoleon Hill. And the interview lasted 3 hours, supposedly. And at the end of the interview, unknowing to Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie liked what has happened, and he asked Napoleon Hill to spend the next few days with him, summarizing the laws and what goes on. And Napoleon Hill was like, wow, okay. He was the poorest man in the world, meeting with the richest man in the world, wanting to summarize the laws and how the story happened with Andrew Carnegie and how the laws of success. So the story goes that Napoleon Hill spent 3 days with Andrew Carnegie, and he wrote the 8 volumes, I believe, of the laws of success. And you can't get those original volumes anymore. They're very expensive, but you can get the material, the content, from several sources. So from the laws of success, then Napoleon Hill summarized this back in the 30s to Think and Grow Rich. So it doesn't have everything from the laws of success, which we studied, but it has most of the main principles. And what are they? What are these things? So let's take a look here. So for example, desire, right? And it's known as desire is the first step towards riches. Now, what the heck does that mean? You have to desire something before you become rich? Well, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, if you really want to get money, if you really want to get income, success, and health, you have to desire to another level. So he calls it desire as the first step. Then it's faith. And then he explains what is faith in chapter 2. Faith is like one of those things where you can see the invisible and everybody else would think it's incredible when it becomes a miracle. Like, wow, is that really happened? So yeah, that's the desire. And then faith. Most people don't even understand faith, even if they are religious, but they don't really understand it. But it's explained in here very, very well. Then you have auto suggestion. So what is auto suggestion? Well, it talks about what do you say to yourself all the time. If you have a goal and you're going after it, are you repeating that goal? Are you resonating with what you want? And in the auto suggestion chapter is a very powerful chapter. Once you understand it, that's how you're going to get that law of attraction in the universe helping you, aiding you in getting what you need. Because you're not supposed to do everything by yourself. You're supposed to enjoy, have fun, and grow. And as you go along, auto suggestion is really going to confirm to you what's going on. So you probably heard before, we become what we think about. Well, whatever you're thinking about, you're auto suggesting from yourself to yourself. Just remember how powerful that is, right? You're suggesting something from yourself to yourself. So once you understand this auto suggestion, the third step towards riches, you're going to be on your way. So as we go through these chapters and study them, you're going to learn the basics and fundamentals of how you can achieve your goal with ease. It's really an excellent book. I've never seen any other books. I've seen many. I have 3, 4 bookshelves of management, professional leadership books, but this one is the best one. And I keep going back to it. Then there's chapter 5, specialized knowledge, the fourth step towards riches. For example, Dennis here is very specialized in his niches of what he does with transistors and the company that he's running. So it's very specialized. So if you want to move something, if you want to get something created, you're going to have to get specialized knowledge. We don't need to know how to do it, but the specialized knowledge is going to help you solve that problem. The engineers, the physicists, the mathematicians, the chemists would solve that problem. Most people will stop at, oh, I don't know how to do that, I'm not going to get involved. Well, that's not how people go to the moon, right? That's not how Elon Musk builds all these different car plans and gets, electric battery cars driven when nobody could do it before. So you don't need to know how. You just have to have the desire and the faith, and you got to auto suggest it to yourself. So you know that there is specialized knowledge that you can get people to solve the problems. So in this chapter, it really explains it what happens. Then there's a 6th chapter, imagination, the 5th step towards riches. Imagination is dear to my heart because imagination is one of those higher mental faculties, and we studied that in Thinking into Results. In Thinking into Results, we study the higher mental faculties, and that's like imagination, reason, perception, will, memory, and there was one more. There's 6 of them. So we study them in detail so that you can understand what is imagination. Like when you're imagining, where is that information coming from? Your perception, when I say something, when somebody else says something, how do you receive that information? Your perception of something will change as time goes along, as your awareness rises. When you perceive something, somebody else can perceive something else. So these are the higher mental faculties, and that's what separates us from the animal kingdom, right? They have instinct, we have higher mental faculties. That's what's in our conscious mind. So once you start understanding these facilities, the imagination, and there's a creative imagination and synthetic. So creative is when you're creating something totally new that nobody's ever done. And then there's synthetic when you're putting things together. It's like 2 chairs become a sofa. But before a chair, it was a creative imagination. So these are just some examples. So imagination is pretty cool. When you're pushing the boundaries of science and physics and creation, that's what you're going to need. So in this book, they describe how you get to relax, how you get to imagine something much bigger than what you've ever done. Because if you don't do that, you're just going to be an average individual, which is nothing wrong with the average. But if you want to move your results, if you want to move your income, if you want to move your company to that next level, you're going to have to go somewhere where you've never gone before. And to do that, you're going to need some help. Organized planning. So any project, for it to come to life, you got to have a plan, start date, middle date, this, that. You got to have a plan. And there needs to be a plan, organized plan. It cannot be chaos. It needs to be progressive. It needs to be moving. So that's the 6th step towards leadership. And that's leadership. Some leaders just specialize in organized planning. And then there's chapter 8, decision. Is also another one of my favorite chapter, decision. I'm going to get you a couple paragraphs on it as to how you make decisions fast. See, most people make decisions slow, and that is limited by their paradigm and their habitual behavior, and they never go anywhere. Whereas when you make decisions fast and you learn how to make decisions with your intuitive mind, you're going to advance and move forward. If you do it slow, you're letting your old behavior and paradigm hold you, and you're not advancing, you're just stuck. So that's where the decision chapter comes in handy. So just quick reset here. I want to thank you all for listening. We are just sharing with you here a bit about Think and Grow Rich and why I study this book with my group on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. and why, so many don't even understand that what you can do with it. They might even have it on their shelf. You might even have it on your computer, but you've never really studied it, never really understood the meaning of decisions. How do you make decisions that are committed? What's the difference between a decision and a committed decision? It's like when you're driving forward, you cannot drive backwards anymore. So how about that? How about you make a decision that you're going to drive and you keep driving? But most people will make a decision that, it'd be nice to have it, or maybe not, right? So that's chapter 8, the 7th step towards riches. Remember, this book was written to summarize what the 500 richest men in 1900, right? Napoleon Hill went out and interviewed 500 people that went from nothing to something. And he summarized everything that they've done into this book, into the laws of success, and then into this book. So you have some of the most valued information right here. This has been proven by a lot of people. Somebody's read this book and studied it and understand it very well, right? So that's why this book is so precious. Persistence. Persistence is your ability to stick to it. How could you wake up every day and go to your business and perform at your best? How can you wake up every day and become the best that you can be? How can you show up with full energy, full stamina, full force, full charm, whatever it is that you need to get your business working? How people do it, right? How do you get that tired? Well, persistence, you're going to have to pass the persistence test. And he talks about it here. If you don't pass the persistence test, no company will come to life. None of your businesses will prosper if you don't pass this persistence test. And you don't need any special education or special knowledge, but you need to have certain things habitually changed for you to pass the persistence test. It's like going to the gym, or how many people would start a gym membership and they never finish it. They never go more than a week. How many people will start a diet, off a diet, stop on a diet, off on a diet? So persistence is what you need to succeed in your business. What if you can understand that that's what it takes to get your business off the ground? It's not your fault that you're dropping off the things that you should be doing. It's your habitual programming and behavior that got you where you're at. And if you're not happy with your current results and you want to change, your persistence is the issue. It's one of the issues that we can help you with. So we're thinking into results. We go over that, because that's what Bob did for 61 years. He studied this material from Earl Nightingale and from Napoleon Hill, and then put it in Thinking into Results. I'm going to type the name here, Thinking into Results. Thinking into Results. It's the most comprehensive program you could ever use to help you develop yourself and study in a group and really become somebody, because it's the summary of the 120 years. It gets to the root cause of how you can move your results quite a bit, very, very fast. So this was chapter 9. Let's go back to persistence. Chapter 10, Power of the Mastermind. That's what we studied this morning. What does that mean? Power of the mastermind. He didn't just say mastermind. He said power of the mastermind. Oh, I like that. I don't know how much you know, but when Andrew Carnegie built the U.S. Steel Company back in 1900s, $1 billion worth of a company, he had a large mastermind and he built a very large organization. That's how he did it. Now, they were paid people, but still, they were with him on that mastermind. So did Henry Ford. So did Edison. So you can utilize this mastermind to help you grow your business. You come together to solve a problem. You come together, you help each other to move your business forward. So how come not so many are using it right now? It's because not too many understand it. People are working based on competition, scarcity mindset. They worry people are going to steal it. But no, when you come together in the spirit of harmony, it's like your mind and their mind together is going to become a much bigger mind. As you understand the laws, and as you understand that our subconscious mind is connected to infinite intelligence, two minds are connected to the infinite. So two minds is like almost three minds. and then 3 is like 4, and just keeps growing. So what if you can have a mastermind that can help you solve your problems? Now you can have a paid mastermind, or you can have a free mastermind. There's different ways to do it, right? But the power of the mastermind is everything, because that's where knowledge comes from. Where does knowledge comes from? Infinite. It comes from experience, and it comes from research. So that's how information is used to move a business forward. You need that infinite wisdom. You need that infinite intelligence to move this thing. You need experience from people who have done it. And then you need the research to drive you to a new place. Now, Power of the Mastermind explains that very, very clearly. So if you're a business owner and you're pushing the envelope with your research, that's what you're going to need to get to that next level. And you'll bring people to your mastermind that have the education experience that needed, and that's what's going to be motivating you to move up, because the levels are infinite. Chapter 11 talks about the mystery of sex transmutation, as to how much energy there is. How do people get enthused and get excited about their work, and what brings that energy, right? Well, the sex transmutation chapter is phenomenal. As you will read it and as you understand it, most of these men, there's different power. Where does power come from? Where does this energy come from? And there's 10 sources here from this chapter. Let me just see it quickly here. What are the stimuli for this energy, right? Where is it? It comes from desire for sex expression, love, burning desire of fame, power, and financial money. Music helps you. Friendship between either of those of the same sex or those of opposite sex. A mastermind. A mutual suffering, such as that experienced by people. Auto-suggestion, fear, and narcotics and alcohol. So that's where that energy comes from. So behind every man, there's a strong woman. So a lot of people use the emotion of sex, which contains a very high creative ability. Many people use narcotics and alcohol, and you've probably seen that in movies. So this chapter would dig a little bit deeper into this power and what is available to everybody. So suggest you read it. Now, the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, that's your universal mind. That's where you're habitually doing everything that you're doing, and we study that and think it into results. So as you try to change, your body is not going to change easily. Your mind is not going to let you do. How do you become control of your mind? Is by learning how to control your subconscious mind. Habitually, you have to change. To change your results, you have to change your paradigm. And that's where the subconscious mind, chapter 12, once you understand it, understand what's there, and learn how to reprogram it, that's when you can shift your paradigm. That's when you can start setting a goal and achieve it. And that's what we do, is thinking into results. Chapter 13 is about the brain, the 12th step towards riches. And chapter 14 is the sixth sense, the 13th step towards riches. And chapter 15, my favorite, how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. So many people are afraid, right? So many people are afraid of so many things. But what if you can stop being afraid? What if you can stop being scared? What if you read this chapter and stop being afraid from poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love? Let's see what else. Fear of old age, fear of death. I'm not saying that's going to go away permanently, but what if you understand it a little bit differently so that you can really get on with it, right? Get on with life and start having some fun. So you can see how this book covers many aspects of life. And you can use it in your business. You can use it in normal life. You can use it just for fun. You can use it with your family, with your everybody that's around you. So let me explain to you what happens, for example, in terms of let's go to this one here. How studying in a group and studying a book instead of just reading it, you'll understand a whole lot more. So I'm on page 36 here. I'm in the desire chapter, and most people would wish and hope to achieve something. Whereas when you have a desire, a burning desire, and all burning desires must come to life, must come to form. And this is what it says here. There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. So you can wish for something, you can hope for something, but are you ready to receive it? Well, how are you going to get ready? Once you understand this book, you're going to get ready with the faith, auto-suggestion, decision, mastermind, organized planning, the mysteries, the stop being scared. Once you understand it, you're going to know the difference between desire and a wish and hope. Most people are wishing and hoping they're going to get wealthy. Most people are wishing and hoping their company is going to get off the ground. That's not how it works. There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. So how do you believe? So you see, with just two lines, we can spend a day on them or 2 days explaining it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. So for you to be in that receiving mode of that abundance, the money, the thing that you want, you have to be ready to acquire it. You have to believe you can. We become what we think about. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. So you have to understand that belief chapter. You have to understand how the state of mind, conscious minds. So how do you do that? You got to study the book. You ought to check thinking into results. You ought to see some of these book clubs that we have about this thing. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Now, if your mind is closed and if you have the guards down, nothing is going to happen. You are not going to accept a new idea. You are not going to move. You're just going to say, no, I'm going to do it the way I know how to do it. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to do the way I always done it. Well, that's fine. But then what happens, you're only going to get what you've gotten. You're not going to advance. Your results are right now is because of what you've been doing. If you want to get something new, you have to bring something new into your life. So open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. Isn't that interesting? You got to have an open mind. How many times you've heard that before? So that's why I encourage you to check it out to see how you can study this book with us, The Legacy of Napoleon Hill, and what he did. He really did the world a favor by writing this book because it's applicable today. Just imagine if there were millionaires back in the 1900s, why are most people suffering still now? Is it because they've read this book and don't understand it? Is it because they've never read this book? Is it because they don't have the faith? They don't have the belief? They don't have the desire? They don't know what it takes? I know they want to get better. I know most of you want time and financial freedom. The more I talk to people, most of everybody want what? They want time and financial freedom. People want time and financial freedom. Well, the book is available. If they did it in 1900s and became millionaire, they went from nothing to multi. Why are you not doing it now? What's it going to take for you to get on these groups that are actually making it happen? How are you going to change your mindset so you can believe you can acquire this, right? And that's why I love this book. It really has tripled my income since I started reading it. My clients love it because all my clients get access to the book clubs from Thinking into Results. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity. So you can accept where you're at, or you can ask for more. No more effort is required. For your mind, it's the same kind of work. You ever notice how come some people get paid a lot of money and some people don't? It's the same amount of work for the mind. You just have to demand more out of life. You just have to demand more out of you. But how do you do it? You are stuck with your circumstance and conditions and beliefs of what you can do and cannot do. What if we can unlock all that? What if we can take the chains off and let you loose? Now, it doesn't mean you're going to go on a spendthrift. It doesn't mean we're going to give you $10 million to play with. That's not how it works. You got to get in the mind first. See, 95% mindset, 5% strategy. 95% mindset, 5% strategy. That's what I want you to get. With the power of this book, with the power of studying this book club, you can get these ideas. You can start having this 95% mindset, 5% strategy working for you. You just have to have an open mind. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. And you need all that. And these are the chapters that are in this book. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity, than is required to accept misery and poverty. How many people are just accepting the misery and poverty? You just have to stop and think and be done with your current situation. You have to say, I'm done with this current situation. I'm moving forward. I want more. And you have to learn how to make a decision. I'm going to teach you how to do that. A great poet has correctly stated this universal truth through these lines. I'm not going to read the poem, but it's just incredible, right? So where's the decision chapter? There's something here in the decision chapter that we need to show you. There's also a self-confidence formula in here with 6 steps that is just beyond, oh my goodness. Page 59, self-confidence formula. I read that often. I read that almost every day. Most days I do, because it is part of my daily habitual reading. Let's see what it is. It's right here. Self-confidence formula. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistence, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person I want to become. So you see, it's all in here, but you need to have it up there. You need to study this book a lot more than me. We all need to study this book often. And then decisions and stopping the procrastination. Why do you think people procrastinate? Look at this. In the decision chapter, chapter 8, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was the near head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. You got to learn how to make decisions. This is no mere statement of theory. It is a fact. 25,000 men and women. It's a fact. The reason they fail is because they don't know how to make decisions. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy, which practically every man must conquer. What if you can start conquering that this weekend? What if you can join and start studying this book on Saturdays at 8 a.m. with us? Saturdays, 8 a.m. We study this. And we don't just study this ourselves. I also have the legend, Bob Proctor, that helps us study this material. So I want you to reach out and say, hey, I'd like to understand this a little bit more. I'd like to see how you do that. How do you study this thing? What is it all about? And I'm just going to give you a quick kind of preview on why this information is so critical and what I have with regards to from Bob, this material, because it has really changed everything. Like, this information is powerful and you need to have it. Why should I have it by myself? And I'm going to share it with you. So let's see if this screen can share. Chrome tab, and we're going to go here. No, not that one. We're going to go here. Here we go. So on top of what we have, since I've been trained by Bob Proctor, and he studied this book for 61 years, the longest that I've ever known anybody study one book for 61 years, I have the videos that explains the chapters of this book, and I study them, and I share them with my group that studied this in this club with me. So I'm going to share with you just 3 minutes as to how this book can really change your life. So because for those who come to the book club, you'll get to experience the teaching from me and these videos together. They're very expensive. They're like about $3,000, but you get to join it and see them with me as we go along week by week. We meet once a week for 1 hour where we study one chapter a week. All right. So let's see if this video plays. It should play.
You're about to meet an absolutely extraordinary individual. His name is Bob Proctor, and I am probably the next most fortunate person in the world because I'm his son.
Hill said the missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today may be found in the failure of educational institutions to teach students how to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it.
He's really, really passionate about everybody understanding the power that we have within us and how to use that.
Build the picture of what you want. You can accept or reject all ideas that will not help you get it.
The thing that amazed me most was all the people that kept coming up to me, telling me how much my father changed their life, how their world has changed because they met him and learned from him. He's just got a real passion for it. He certainly doesn't need to do it. He's 84 years old. He could retire and just live comfortably wherever, but this drives him. This adds years to his life. He loves teaching people. He loves watching the success stories. He actually picked up the book Think and Grow Rich in October of 1961. And I was born December of 1961. So my entire life, I have seen him read that book. And the book that you see him hold, that is the book he was given back in 1961. You see him open it, it's tattered and torn, and he can pick that book up and literally open it anywhere and teach a very powerful lesson because he knows it inside and out. And the cool thing is he's lived those principles literally for 56, almost 57 years. I think the big thing to know is that he's lived it. He has gone through his life and he struggled. He's had lots of times where things weren't working right, but he kept believing in those principles and he kept practicing them. He never faltered on that once. And he is living a life now that most people dream about. And that is because he stuck to it and he lived that. So if you're new to this, you just want to listen to it and know that he's been through it. He's probably been exactly where you are, and he'll show you how to take these principles so that you can get out of the place you're at and actually get to where you'd like to be. I'm so grateful that you are going to actually get to meet him right now. You'll get to learn from him. You'll see what he's all about. And I think what you're going to discover over these 13 principles and how he teaches it is how you can really change your life. Because he's changed his using these principles. He's a product of the material. And I don't think there's anybody that is more qualified to teach this than Bob Proctor.
So true. And I enjoyed it so much studying it with him. And now that I have the material, I get to teach you as well and share it with you and grow, because together we are stronger. So if this excites you, if this is something you want to explore, reach out. We're at the top of the hour here. Thank you so much. We're going to keep these lives to 30 minutes. It's long enough. And then have an amazing weekend. Have a great day. As I said, it's on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Eastern when we study together in this book club. One chapter a week where we study the chapter, watch the video, 15, 20 minutes, and then talk about it, read the pages, ask questions, exchange. And then from the group comes all kind of different adventures of masterminds and people working together on different projects, generating money, having fun, and really growing their mindset, because I really want you to think of thinking into results to get you to that next level of 6 months live coaching. So with that, thanks again. Appreciate every one of you. For those who are watching live, appreciate you very much. I'll check the comments after. Blessings to all of you. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and look forward to seeing many of you on the weekend. And so if this sounds like something you want to do, reach out. Send me the information, send me that you're interested, and we'll get you to sign up with the link. And you know how to find me. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Blessings to all. Bye-bye. Let's see here.
The only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you want it? I'm Sandy Gallagher, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Proctor Gallagher Institute. The purpose of our company is to help people connect to their higher side. And that's what enables us to live the life that we're truly meant to live. Our company is growing. We're growing at such a rapid pace. I feel so blessed with the people we're attracting to our company. We've been working for over a year on this program, just getting all the information out of Bob, drawing it out of him, all the 57 years he's been studying this and teaching this. And we wanted it all just condensed in this program that covers all the 13 principles of success. His number one objective is to help people. That's what he's programmed to do. That's what gives him meaning in life. I've never seen anything like this.
This is vitally important in present tense. This part of your personality knows nothing about past or future. There's only now.
He dives into the 13 principles that Napoleon Hill wrote about in Think and Grow Rich. He's lived them, and it's the foundation of our entire company. He truly is a living legend. I want you to buckle your seatbelt and hang on, because you are in for quite a ride.
Throw the switch of that person you want to be.
Those ideas will be fixed in your mind, and that's the way you'll live.
All right. Well, thank you again. Have a good day. End of live.